We're trying out a brand new spot today. I've never been here before, but I've been on nearby farms and found some pretty good Civil War stuff, and I'm hoping there might be a few things here. I have permission to go pretty much anywhere I want, but today what we're going to do is we're just going to stick up close to the farmer's house, which is an old stone house. It was built in the 1700s. We're not going in the yard today. We're just going to kind of go around in the pasture field here and see what we can find. If you look, there's some nice big limestone outcroppings, and I'm hoping over here by the house we'll actually find a few things. There's a couple stone outbuildings. Nothing else is standing that's old, but the only problem is there is an electric fence here, so you're going to be hearing beep, beep, beep every few minutes. So I'm going to hunt without the headphones on today so that you can hear what I'm hearing. I think it's kind of important. I'm just looking at the ground. There's some pottery here. Some type of ceramic. I'm not sure how old that is, but not seeing too much yet. That's going to be really hard packed where the cows have been walking on it, though. So we might just stick to the grass over here, and we'll get my metal detector. We're going to hunt for about 2 hours, I think. Just kind of scope the place out, really. And of course, if it's super good, we might stay here until dark. You never know. So I want to show you what the electric fence is all about. If you look at the machine, you see the numbers popping around, and it's on a rock, so it's not the rock making it do that, but that's the electric fence behind us. There's a pulses of electricity going through it. See it jumping? So we have to hunt through that. Now I did discover that on F1, frequency 1, it occasionally makes that high pitch squeak, which is a really good signal. And if I change it to a different frequency, like F2, it only makes the grunt. At least it was. No, it isn't changed now. Let's go to F3, see if that makes, or F4, let's see if that makes a difference. No. No difference at all. So what we'll have to do is just kind of hunt through that. There's really no other choice other than turning off the electric fence, which, you know, I don't like to do unless we really have to. Well, I always ask permission first, of course. Yeah, usually people let you do that, but that's like one of those things I just don't want to push it, especially when I'm on a new spot. So let me go ahead and set the machine up so you can see what I'm hunting with. I'm going to turn it on. This is the AT Max. I'm going to leave it on zero mode, zero discrimination, so we can hear everything. I'm not going to use the headphones because I want you guys to hear what I'm hearing. Always make sure you ground balance. This will help a lot in most conditions. It's a little tough here probably because there's so much iron in the ground. I'll let you listen to it in a minute. Try over here. Okay, we're just going to roll with that for now. Now what I did is I've already marked a couple signals. I think 3 signals. I'm going to take the machine over, let you listen to them. Then I'm going to set the camera on the tripod and dig them so we can dig them together. I have not dug anything yet. I just have these 3 signals right here along this rock break. There's a brick there, by the way. That's a nice old brick. But what I did is I marked it with a rock. So it's jumping around a lot. It could be just a big piece of flat iron or something good near a piece of iron. Then I have another one marked over here, this rock right here. That sounds pretty good. Then another one marked somewhere else, already lost. I'm going to have to like bring golf balls to do this with. I had 3 of them marked, I think. Jeez. 1. Ah, there it is up here. This is the 3rd one. That doesn't sound too bad. Hope it's something good. Ground's nice and moist, so we don't have to worry about losing the plugs too bad, I don't think. Lever back. Yeah, a lot of iron. Fortunately, my pinpoint's in the truck, I think. There we go. Hopefully that got it. Not yet. See, something there. A couple things in that whole action. If you look at the dirt, you can see all kinds of brick and stuff in there too. Little pieces of brick. Or might be pottery. Wow. Lots of pottery in that hole right there. Hear the iron. Might be something a little further over, but I'm looking at the hole. Look at this pottery coming out of there. That's good old stuff right there. That's at least Civil War era, maybe earlier. Bunch of pieces of different things like that. Some more. I suspect there's a bunch of nails in here too. Wow, that's pottery aside. I have to go get the pinpointer, I think. Yeah, there's a big piece of flat iron right here. Look at this. It looks like just a normal piece of iron. It's got a little bit of a curvature to it. Looks like it's probably a mold seam right here, a mold mark where it was cast. So it could be like a big pot or something, cooking vessel of some kind. That might be what I was hearing, because sometimes that flat iron, flat thick iron like that will give a halfway decent signal. That's probably the squeak I was hearing. There's a lot of iron in this hole. This might be an area we want to come back to and just kind of excavate, but I'm not going to do that today because we're just going to scope it out here. I'll throw that in the bag so we can look at it later. There's a nail right here. Or a might actually be a handle to something. All right, let's cover this back over. Now the next squeak, I'm pretty sure was a really good squeak, so hopefully that will be better. I'll stomp this down when we're done. There we go. Excellent. So I went back to my truck to get the pinpointer, and actually I don't have one in there. It's in my backpack, which is in my basement, so no pinpointer today. This is our next one under this rock. That's reading like 70s, 80, low 80s, so this is probably going to be something non-ferrous, I'm pretty sure. Doesn't sound as big as like a big piece of iron. Might. I should have got it. I don't think it was too deep. Oh no. It's a piece of aluminum. Look at that. It's a piece of aluminum, don't know. It's almost like a heavy wire of some kind. But that's what it was for sure. We'll check the hole. Just to make sure. Yep, that's all it was. Lots of iron in here. Okay, well, one more signal. We're going to look at that. Then I'm going to hunt on my own for a while. I don't want to, I want to make sure we try to find at least something today. Excellent. All right, this is the last one we're going to dig together for a few minutes. Squeaking pretty good. All right, rocks in here. I better cut a little bit of a plug. Cows have this place really torn up anyway, but I don't want to tear it up any more than it already is. It's going to be hard to hear that next to the tripod leg. Sounding like iron now, doesn't it? Yep. There it is. That is a piece of fairly modern iron. Certainly does not date to the Civil War era. Stamped iron. See, once you get it out of the hole and moved, the metal detector can better recognize what it is. I'll double check just to make sure. Make sure nothing fell in the hole. Pretty sure it's that iron. Nope. The squeak you're hearing when I'm doing that is actually the tripod leg. It's made out of aluminum, so don't have to worry about that. All right, on my own for just a few minutes. All right, so here's where it stands. I've been here for about, I don't know, 30, 40 minutes, digging a lot of iron. A couple odds and ends that aren't iron, but nothing really good. Although I have 3 targets out of the hole right now. One's a coin for sure. I don't know how old it is. I haven't looked at it. We're gonna do that together. But I'm basically just hunting in the shade now because it's so hot in the sun. It's really, really hot and humid. It's crazy this time of year. Anyway, let me show you what I found so far. Then we'll go to those 3 holes and look at whatever those targets are. One's a coin. Oh, one's a coin for sure. Don't know what kind. Yeah, well, a piece of harmonica, I'm pretty sure. And then the other one, I have no idea. You ready? All right, let's just start with this one here. This is actually the piece of harmonica for sure. These harmonicas have actually been around since our Civil War period, 1860s. I think they were invented in France in the 1850s, but they're really, really, really popular here after the Civil War, 1880s, early 1900s. You find a lot of these around that period home site. I'm going to fill that in when I'm done. All right, this was the coin. And if you look, you can see the edge of it right here. I don't know what it is, but we'll find out together. You ready? Ooh. Well, it's really, really light, so it might be aluminum. I don't know. I don't know what that thing is. Yeah, it's aluminum. This is probably some type of token or game piece or something. Game thing. Oh, that's weird. Martin Van Buren. No, it actually looks like, well, it looks like theater or FDR, but I think the date on there is 1887, so I'm not sure who that's supposed to be, but we'll clean it up and look at it. I'll fill in the holes as soon as I'm done filming. Now this last signal is a weird squeak and small. I don't know what it is. It's actually like it might have broken apart because there's a squeak here and a squeak in this big piece. Set these down right here, I guess. I have to get the metal detector out for this, I'm sure. But first we'll just break it apart, see if we can see it. Do ya? See some green right there. See the grass or brass. Grass or brass? That's grass. This was a very strange little squeak. And a couple of them, so it might be something that broke up. All right, let me get the metal detector out. And we'll check this. First we'll try right here. I think there's a piece in here. Yeah, see, it's really, really small, whatever it is. And here, do you see it? Out there. Huh. I dropped it. All right, try again. It is minuscule. I see it right here, look. It's a piece of aluminum. I was afraid it might be that because when I dug it, I could hear some other pieces. I think there's another piece over there. And it's probably just either shaved it off of here, although this does not look broken, or it just was a big ball of it and pieces are broken off. Let's try over here. No, it's just iron. And some more back here toward me. It's all out of the hole though, at least. Let's just go ahead and check this real quick. Yeah, I can see it. It's aluminum right there. More pieces of it. All right. Well, it wasn't too exciting, but at least we got some type of token and a piece of harmonica. 3 more targets in about an hour. The way it's going. Well, guys, I hate to say it, but the chig's been chigged out, man. Whew. I'm dying out here. Mid-80s, high humidity. And it's just roasting. Normally this time of year I'm in the river, but the rivers are still flooded. So I'm going to head out, but I want to show you what I found. Two things that are kind of interesting. First, let's look at this hole right here. This is kind of where I just ended up. I was digging this hole and I started getting lots of pottery and stuff out of it. So I expanded it a little bit. You can see it's just going off to the sides. There's redware, there's other types of china, some little bit of oyster shell. In fact, this is all the stuff I got out of that little hole right there. Some really pretty china, some like feather edge. This is the signal I heard when I originally dug the hole. That looks like a lantern wick thingy, but I've never seen one quite like that. The spinner looks like one, but the other part I'm not sure about. Just tons of this pottery though, and lots of iron in there. That looks almost like a ramrod, part of the ramrod from a Civil War musket. It kind of swells in the middle and gets smaller on the ends. Could be wrong about that, but it's the right diameter. Tons of nails in there and chunks of iron, which are quite interesting. But not that interesting. So what we're going to do is we're definitely going to come back here, and I'm going to dig this hole out bigger. Look around the house some more, but definitely this hole for sure. Now let me show you what I found everywhere else. It's not the greatest. This is pretty much everything that I found outside of that hole. The most interesting things are this little crottle bell right here, which just is like a sleigh bell or a little bell that they would put around like a sheep's neck or a goat's neck or something like that to find them. Probably came off of a sleigh bell belt though, because I do find a lot of those. Here's an oyster shell. It tells us this is an old place, although we didn't need to know that because she saw that. This token is actually pretty cool. That silhouette of that dude actually is FDR. That 1882 date is when he was born. That's what was throwing me off. So I knew he was in during like World War II and before. It's a Charms Candy token. Yeah, this is the harmonica reed. I guess I should have told you what that was. A lot of other junk. Big pieces of cookware. This is a giant piece of iron. Looks almost like part of a rail to a railroad, but I'm not sure if that's what it is. Lots of junk too. The further I got away from the house, the more aluminum I was picking up. There's a lot of this around here. That's very annoying. And part of the reason I want to split because I'm just tired and hot and sweaty. Lots of nails. This is river season for me. I should not be out here in this dust. I'm just very frustrated and disgusted with myself, but I don't have any control over that. Okay, so we'll come back, I promise you. Maybe in a week or two, but we'll come back. We'll see you then, I hope. She'll shake the coins from your pocket, take your gold chain and your locket. Mother Earth has no sympathy. She'll take the ring from your hand and bury it in the sand and keep it for eternity. Mother Earth, she's got her secrets she's promised to keep hidden in her dirt.